Okay, at this stage, you have done your ABCDE information gathering. You've identified what the goals and the intervention are going to be, and then you're going to need to monitor how that's being applied. So this is something that students often fall down on. They either don't monitor or don't include a monitoring tool in their write-up. So if my intervention is dietary, am I going to, so let's say I'm trying to increase fiber intake or increase protein intake, probably more common. So I want to increase protein intake. I give my athletes some advice on high protein foods. We look at their diet and how that can be improved. Maybe I encourage them to use a protein supplement as well. How do I know then between week 1 and week 6 that that's actually happening? So I might take a regular diet recall, 24-hour recall once a week when I meet them for my appointment. And I could use that to then assess if their protein distribution is equal across the day and if they're achieving their protein requirements. I might use a food frequency questionnaire. So that might be an easy kind of tick box list of high protein foods or high iron foods. And that might help me to identify an easy way without getting them to do a 3-day weight food diary every week or anything like that. It might just be this weekly review tick sheet. So maybe we'll keep on that protein example. So I want my athlete to take a protein shake on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. On Sunday, I just print out a tick sheet for them and I get them to tick whether they did it or not, an X if they didn't do it and a tick if they did it. Let's say it's a creatine intervention. We know that our athlete would need to take creatine for this maybe 6 week. You might do a fast loading protocol. So it'll be 4 times a day for the first 6 days. Can we get them to tick that they did that 4 times a day for the first 6 days? Inevitably, somebody's going to forget one of those times, and that's okay. It's just monitoring our intervention. What you might find is they do it fine on day 1, and then they just decide they don't want to do it or they forget about it. So you're going to then, at second appointment, be able to monitor, did they do what I asked them to do? And if they didn't, why didn't they? Maybe they had gut issues. Maybe it made them dehydrated. Maybe they just need to put a reminder on their phone. And that's how we adapt our intervention for week 2. You could also do a weekly review. So some kind of a little questionnaire, a Likert scale on a 0 to 10, what were your energy levels this week? How did you feel, in training? What were the RPEs for your training sessions? It might be a weekly sprint or strength or fitness test. You might be looking at, which is objective, not subjective. You might be looking at anthropometry, so monitoring weight, skin folds, girths, BIA on a weekly, fortnightly, every 3 weeks basis. I suppose I would. Your monitoring tool, it doesn't just monitor your outcomes, it monitors your intervention as well. So that's important. So quite a lot of students will maybe give me body composition data at the beginning, midway, and the end, but they have nothing to monitor. Did their intervention cause this? Or was their intervention successful? Did the athlete actually take the creatine or increase their protein intake? So I want you to show that you're monitoring your intervention as well as monitoring your outcomes. And often the outcomes are anthropometry and performance, but we need to monitor how that's being achieved.